Hey everybody! Welcome to Bike Club. Welcome back. Yeah. Oh God, my brain just went completely blank. Hey, we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. You know what this is. You've been here before. This is Bike Club. This is Dungeons and Dragons. This is Curse of Strahd. I have just lost everything. It's a good sign. No.
Do you remember your name?
No.
Rain check on that one? Anyway, we're here. We're playing Curse of Strahd, which is a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition adventure. Yes, Jason, indeed. Dungeons and Dragons. We're here for that. So, we'll start off with the plugs. We'll do those. So the stream, at the break, we will be giving away another golden chest for Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, which you can get for free on Steam. It is a idle clicker game. It's a lot of fun, and Polygon made a video about it today, so you should check it out. It's absolutely free, and we will be giving you a code for a golden chest in the break, so stay tuned for that. A golden chest get you swag for your adventurers and makes you stronger and gets you golden stuff, and you're all buff and cool. So that's us. Beyond that, check us out on YouTube, Twitter, the usual things. Anyone else got any plugs?
Yep. I have Ghost in the Shell. I colored some of that. So
What?
That's coming out through Penguin Books. Yeah. And then let's see. The current issue of Wilds is out. Let me see what else is out. I won't be coloring issue 4, but I'll be back on for the finale. And then one day I'll remember to write this out ahead of time. But today, not that day. Okay. So we have I'm taking over Castaways. I will be doing a open invite hangout sometime in the next 2 weeks, so people can come and talk to me on Google Hangouts, and I'll screen share what I'm working on if the bosses will let me. And it should just be a fun time, and it should be okay for New Zealand, UK, and US time zones. That's what I'm shooting for. But yeah, the hockey book is almost done, and I think that's it for now.
That's it, just that.
That's it. Just all those projects. That's it.
It's only 6.
I mean,
It's only 6, she says.
You made a rock, Stu.
Yeah.
Good job.
Lydia?
Is muted.
I know. I just had to close Windows because I'm just writing out a tweet because 25th of May is the next D&D game in the vaults, and there's a couple of spaces left, and I want you there because it's cool, and I got to know a few really great critters last time, and yeah, I want to get to know more of you guys. So 25th of May, there's a few more dates after that throughout the year, really. It's all in a link I'm currently posting, so if you want to share that, I will love you forever.
You heard the woman. Book a seat or else.
Is
that what I just said? I mean...
99.
I mean, I had to process it through the stream filter.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Uh-huh. Are you helping? I'm not sure if you're helping.
I'm helping. Besides that, we have Kurion on Mondays, which is another D&D game, which is DM'd by Stu, who is over to my left on screen, that way.
Yeah, I'm here.
So that's every Monday, 8 p.m-ish. It's D&D, never starts on time. Come on, you know this.
It would be. It would start on time.
No, it wouldn't.
If it wasn't for Jamie.
Correct. Saying that as though you expect me to not just... Yeah, I'm well aware.
Oh, no, I wasn't. I wasn't. trying to throw you in the hot water at all.
Jamie, what did you do?
I'm just always late
Why?
because I'm never on time.
Too busy with school?
Sometimes, and by at the minute that consists of watching Westworld on repeat. But yeah, the struggles I go through.
Yeah. I believe on Monday
Yeah.
you spent a hard day studying in the beer garden. Yeah.
I was doing my reading while turning into a lobster.
Yeah. Well,
The call-out culture here is real.
I have a tan line of my necklaces. That's how bad it's gotten.
Have you got
That's
rid
so-
of the sunglasses one yet?
To a degree.
well, if you want to see this culture, or part of this culture, lot play D&D on Mondays. It's every Monday, 8 p.m. Currently BST.
Mm-hmm.
That is GMT +1 currently. If you live in a place that doesn't have a stupid daylight savings time,
And it is very stupid.
it is. Farmers don't need to be up at 5 a.m. to do their crops anymore.
Wait, are you throwing shade on daylight saving?
Yes,
And farmers. Why would you pick on the farmers?
I live in rural Yorkshire. They are the majority here.
A mob of men named Giles are about to come and knock on your door.
Careful.
Steady, I live near farmland as well. Let's not start anything. I don't want to get fucking shot.
I'm banned from Yeovil.
Are farmers really named Giles out there?
Sometimes, yeah.
I imagine there must be a couple.
Like Giles and Dennis and
Oh.
Hadley.
No, we're in Yorkshire, so there's a lot just called John. John.
Or
Dave.
Smith. John and Smith.
Yeah, ours are all John out here.
Anyway, we have
It's just
gone.
like it's just like half of my bus drivers for the tours are called Ian, and the other half is called Paul.
There's like 3 names in Britain.
Yeah.
Anyway, shall we play some Dungeons and Dragons? Maybe.
I suppose.
Is that what people are here for?
I don't know.
Barovia has more culture than Britain, that's for sure.
Although I feel like if we just sat here just talking shit about shit like we usually do, we might get an audience. Who knows?
And I mean, Britain's been trying
Podcast.
so hard to steal everyone else's culture over the last 200 years.
You are not wrong.
I mean, how else would museums have anything in them
Look,
over here?
we had multiple wars over spices only to not use them in any of our cooking.
Oh, that's I've seen that.
Right,
somewhere.
no, I'm heading this one off at the pass. This is done. This is done. So. When last we left our adventuring party, you had managed to successfully escort Irina to Kresk, where you met with the Burgomaster, Mrs. Kreskova. Thank you, Christopher Perkins, for that name. And she welcomed you. She treated you quite hospitably. And she informed you that the abbot was currently in residence, and she revealed that her youngest son, her only living child, had unfortunately passed away and was with now the abbot, who said he could do something to help. You decided you were going to go up to the abbot to speak to the abbot, not go to the abbot to speak to the abbey. And on the way, you saw what appeared to be a pond, a pool, with a gazebo next to it, under which stood a statue of a man with his arms outstretched as if waiting to be embraced. As you approached the pool, Irina, who was traveling with you, stopped in her tracks.
And Meryl got naked and got in the pool.
Yes,
Not forget
that
that.
also happened, and I had forgotten about that, but thank you for reminding me that that indeed did happen.
Also, last thing I wrote in my notes, I don't remember when, is just says Rahal be tripping. I don't know when I wrote that. That's what you don't want to know.
I mean, judging from the conversations we've had, that could be any Any of them. Yeah.
Actually, speaking of inter-party conversations, there was quite an interesting one last session where you guys were told of a place, the seat or the source of Strahd's power. And
this fight again.
you guys seemed quite interested in this, except for one of you, who got on this weird skeletal high horse and wouldn't come down and pissed off everybody else.
Susie is known for being a very neutral DM. She
Yes.
never takes sides.
No.
Honestly, Susie's use of subtlety is what makes this campaign.
Yes.
Anyway, you were informed by the Dusk Elf Casimir that there was a temple, a fortress, a building that he had heard from the ghost of his dead sister. That's where Strahd's power came from. And he wanted to go there, and he wanted you guys to escort him because he heard it was super dangerous and he didn't want to die. So, if I believe correctly, Kerchak agreed that you guys would meet up again in about a week.
Mm-hmm.
And you would
And if
escort
we
him.
didn't, he was gonna go anyway.
Yes.
Never really thought I was going to kill him.
I don't know if they thought that.
He was trying to. He was going to try. Just want to add that?
And meanwhile, Piddlewick 2 was adorable and gave Meryl some flowers.
Stop judging my baby. He's
I
so
can't.
good.
I can't. It's... Mm-mm.
So, returning back to the scene at present. You're walking along a road towards this pool when Irina stops dead in her tracks. She seems to be... Her eyebrows furrow as if she's hearing something. And she slowly starts to walk towards the pool.
I run past her in such a hurry, I push her over.
Okay, you barrel into her as you're walking, but she just keeps going. There's something pulling her towards this pool, and she doesn't seem to regard you guys at all. She's got a singular focus on this pool of water.
I'd like to put my hands on her shoulders, so sort of hold her back.
Mm-hmm.
Just
What
walking
is
up
that?
behind her, next to her.
What does the man in the gazebo look like? I mean, not the man, the statue.
The statue appears as a... it's very weathered, and the paint has long since gone. But it appears to be, you would know, the Morning Lord.
All right.
Okay. So, Kerchak, you put your hands on Irina's shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't resist. She just looks back at you and says, I hear something.
Well, next time you hear something, tell us. Don't just start wandering off. What is it you hear?
A man, a voice. He's calling to me.
Is this a new voice or one you recognize?
New. But I feel like I know it.
It's not him, is it?
No.
Where's the voice coming from?
She just points at the water.
Is Meryl in there already?
I assume so.
How's the water?
Cold.
How cold?
Yeah.
Very.
Did I get eaten by a giant squid or anything yet?
No.
Well, I'm not in there.
Oh, great.
Actually, you feel...
Gross.
Oh, you'd like that. Never mind.
Wow! Let's just... This is a family-friendly stream. Oh, no, I can't keep lying
I'm
like
gonna say,
that.
since when? Since when?
Since when?
Anyway.
Did you say the water was pristine?
Yes,
Like,
it's very
super-
clear. It's bright, and it seems to almost shimmer. And Meryl, you feel great in this water. Usually in Barovia, everything's so overcast that you always feel like a little sickly. You've always got like that persistent little... But you feel so good in this water. You feel 20 years younger.
So I feel 20.
Meryl's age changes every It's somewhere between 30 and 45.
Yeah.
Sliding scale.
Somewhere.
Hey, look, a lady never reveals her age. Come on.
It depends on how much of her is in this pool, how much younger she feels. Like if it's just a little thing, like a few days.
It's not how that works.
Can I ask Irina what the voice is saying?
Many things. Sweet things. Kind things.
To you directly?
Yes.
I don't hear anything, do you? I'll check. And...
Assuming I don't hear anything.
Nope.
Nope.
Strange
Oh, no.
voices coming from anywhere is not exactly something that is usually regarded as good, though.
I want to circle around the pond and go to the statue because I probably don't have any idea what that is.
Okay. So you move towards the statue, and it's inside the gazebo, and you can a stiff breeze will knock this thing over. This thing is ancient. This is creaking. This thing is by some miracle still standing. And you see that this statue is weathered and aged. The paint on it is long since gone, but there seems to be candles and offerings at the base of it, and they're somewhat fresh.
Raha, you should come in. This water is incredible.
I just say and keep inspecting the statue.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any sign I can see what it is? Is there any dedication to it? Any etchings? Any?
No, there's no sort of inscription or anything like that, but you can tell from its posture and its general make that this is some sort of religious icon. And you can assume, being in Barovia, the only religious icon you've heard of is the Morning Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And this seems to be what it is. This is a shrine to the Morning Lord.
Some holy place, I guess. Where, if not here?
Can I cast Detect Evil and Good?
You certainly can.
So I detect aberration, celestials, fey, elementals, fiends, or undead within 30 feet, as well as okay. And I know if objects and places within 30 feet of me have been consecrated or desecrated.
Okay, so you spend a moment to cast that. You don't detect anything.
Okay.
Can I swim down to the bottom of the pond and investigate the bottom with what's that? With nature?
Sure. Roll me a nature check.
14.
14. Okay. So as you dive down and have a look, you can see that this pool is actually fed by an underwater spring.
Ooh.
How far away are we from the abbey?
You are.
From the abbey itself.
You are still at the abbey is on top of a very big hill, like a big cliff. You're at the bottom of it.
Right. Okay.
Can you describe to me how the spring feeds in? Is it just a tiny little bubble, or is it big?
It's not like a big cavern. It's a small. This way, because the pool isn't actually that big.
So I didn't swim down so much as just lay flat and.
I mean, there is a little bit of swimming, but it's not like a massive lake. It's maybe 100 feet in total length. It's not massive.
Can you tell anything different about the spring water?
You can tell, being a Barovian native, that this water is unlike any other water in this land that you've ever seen. Not to say that the rest of the water in Barovia is dirty or undrinkable or anything like that, but this water seems so remarkably pure compared to the water in Barovia general. For example, the waters of Lake Zarovich are nothing like this pool. This pool is like some Bob Ross shit.
Is it more pristine than the running river we saw? That was.
I was about to ask about that.
It's similar to.
And what was the name of the river again? I forgot that.
Ivlis.
Excuse me?
Ivlis.
Oh, I thought you said syphilis.
Where did you get syphilis from that?
That's the opposite of pure. I mean,
That's why.
Drink this and your nose will fall off.
What?
I'm gonna. Did I swim in that river?
No, you went with the party at that time.
was that still with Chandra? I think.
That was still with Chandra, yes. You do know, however, that this water tastes almost sweet.
Delicious. I'm gonna fill up a water skin with it.
Okie dokie.
What's the name of the river again?
Ivlis. Ivlis.
Water skin.
Meanwhile, Kajak, Irina has turned around to face you and asks, "May I approach the water?"
Yeah, but carefully.
Yes, if you want to, you can hold on to my belt. I don't know. Tie a rope around me for your own.
I'll be next to you. If it tries to pull you in or something, I'll be close enough to do something.
Okay. So you make your way towards the water, and as you approach, Meryl surfaces for her.
Yes, and I'm gonna, that. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I'm gonna do a water fountain with the two of them.
Okay. Kachak, you get a spurt of water in your face as Meryl squirts water at you.
I am unperturbed.
At this point, Irina barely even seems to acknowledge you, and she is now staring intently at the water in front of her. Kerchak, you look down, and you expect you see your reflection. You look to your left where Irina is stood. That's not her reflection. Where her reflection should be, you see a young man in his 20s at least. Straight jet black hair pulled back, a strong set jaw, piercing blue eyes. He's very handsome. He's dressed very finely, in modest but very expensive clothes. And you see him smile as Irina approaches, and you don't hear anything, but she smiles too. And you see a hand, a watery hand, appear from the water. She kneels down and reaches towards it.
I want to try to grab the hand first.
I destroy the 10 gallons of water closest to Arena instantly.
Fuck.
Okay, so 3 of you want me to do something at once.
I'm still at the statue.
Kerchak's grabbing Arena. Stu's gonna try and destroy the lake. Meryl, what do you want to do?
I was gonna grab the hand.
Okay. So, as she reaches down and she leans in towards the water, Kerchak, you grab the back of her clothes and just pull her backwards. At the same time, Meryl, you swipe at the hand and it just goes straight through. And Vulgus, you cast your spell and 10 gallons of water disappear. And Meryl, you rush forwards as you're like, whoa. At this point, Irina is her eyes are broken, as if a spell has. Her eyes are wide open and as if a spell is broken. She's like,
Are you all right? You kind of look like you're in a daze. You okay?
I was. I remember.
You remember?
I remember her. Me. My past. Sergei. Strahd. The castle. And she looks at you and she says, I'm Tatiana.
You'll have to be more specific than that.
Were either of the
Were-
Barovians know anything about that?
Back.
Would either of the Barovians know anything about that name?
No.
Oh.
You don't know the origins of Strahd's curse.
I'm coming back at that point from the statue.
Okay, so you come back just as you hear her say, "I'm Tatiana," to Kerchak.
What did you say?
I'm
What happened?
Tatiana. I remember it all. I was to be married to Sergei.
Oh.
I'm sorry, who's Sergei?
He was my beloved. He was Strahd's brother. We were to be married. And then, on our wedding day, he was murdered.
By Strahd.
Yes.
Fucking hell, it all makes sense.
Arena,
Yes?
you're not her. I'll tell you that right now. You're not her. You might have the same face and now for some reason the same memories, but you are not her.
But... what am I to do now?
Whatever you want.
We were going to take you to the Abbot, and that's what we'll do. And from there, we'll figure something out.
Wait, Irina.
Hmm?
Did you love Sergei's brother?
As an older brother, yes. I called him Eldar. I respected him a lot.
Uh-huh.
Was he...
And... oh, go ahead.
Sorry, was he like he is now?
No.
Back then? Or has that... I know it's not easy, but can you tell us what you remember? What happened?
Strahd was an old soldier. He'd sieged and taken the castle. I was a peasant and no one. I lived in one of the local villages. And he'd summoned Sergei to come and live at the castle with him. On one of Sergei's visits to the local villages, we met. And we fell in love. It was silly, it was foolish, but we were young. And then before long, we were to be married. And then Sergei was dead. And I was weeping on the wall. When he came towards me, his mouth covered in blood. He told me that we could be together now, and that there would be nothing else between us. And I tried to run, but I couldn't escape him. So I jumped.
But Tatiana didn't love Strahd. She wanted to be with Sergei, right?
Yes. I loved him very much. She.
Arena, was Sergei the man in the water?
Yes.
Right.
Irina, do you know any other way we can contact Sergei again?
No.
It would have been helpful to be able to work with him, Bulgus.
Oh, we didn't know that at the time.
I have the feeling that the only thing Sergei was there for was so that you two could be together again, if you understand my meaning by that.
The water was sweet and clearly had magical properties.
But it will still drown a person, all the same. Besides, there's still some left.
I was going to say how much water is actually left.
There's
Like-
still a lot, you know,
Yeah.
this is still a fair-sized pond. It's
Yeah.
just dipped a bit now.
Arena, is the pool still calling to you?
No.
Could you do me a favor and look at the water?
Mm-hmm. And she goes forward and looks down, and it's her reflection.
well, whatever was there isn't there anymore. Maybe the abbot knows more. I mean, this is on the way to the abbey, and next to a statue that's clearly been there for some time, he must know something.
That statue is the Morning Lord as well. I presume the abbot is of the Morning Lord's faith.
At the mention that that's the Morning Lord, I'll give a really awkward okay to the statue.
Ooh.
I'll ask the abbot. You'll be safe. Maybe we'll even be able to use that information. Maybe Sergei's wanting his own revenge from the grave.
I mean, if someone killed me on my wedding day, I'd probably be a bit pissed off myself. So that's the reason.
New level
I'd
of
be
sibling rivalry.
I'd be dead if someone killed me on my wedding day.
Yeah, but you'd still be pretty pissed off about it.
I wouldn't know, I'd be dead.
Not in Barovia.
Well, not straight away, but even then, I doubt I'd have a conscience.
Well, you tell that to the man in the pond.
While you guys are talking, Arena's just staring at the water. It's just like you can see like she's just willing him to come back. She's willing something to happen. But after a while, she turns away and she says, "Shall we?"
Yep, there's no use staying here.
All right. Okay. So you head up towards the road, and you see there's like one of these big switchback roads. So it goes like this. And it hugs the side of the cliff, and it's about 10 foot wide, so you could walk a couple abreast if you wanted to. And it's covered with like loose gravel.
Really?
God damn it, Marissa!
Wow. Do I use a leash or what?
So what's the marching order? Is Marissa leading from the rear?
Oh, Jamie, don't give him more ammo.
Put the boobs in front.
So you can't continue up this path, and it's made of like loose gravel, and there's chunks of broken rock here and everywhere, because you can see it's carved out of the cliff face. And as you start getting towards the top, it gets like a bit colder, like noticeably colder. You've climbed about 400 feet in total. This is a very steep cliff face, and it's
Whitby
pretty.
Abbey.
It's pretty. It is. Yeah, it's Whitby Abbey.
Oh my
Fucking
god,
stairs
it's
at Whitby Abbey.
It's Whitby Abbey. Of course it's Whitby Abbey. It's Strahd.
How many steps are there?
Too
and
many.
If it's 99, we know.
So it's a bit treacherous in places where the cliff face is just eroded away or just slipped away with like little landslides and stuff. But you make your way up to the top. So as you get up here, you can see as well there's just like a layer of mist, low-hanging mist that covers this area. And you see that there's actually like snow on the ground, on trees and stuff around you. You see that now this leads from the top of the pass to a gravel road, and it passes between two small stone outbuildings, to either side of which stretches a 5 foot high, 3 foot thick wall of jumbled stones held together with mortar. So this is like a really shitty... It's Whitby Abbey. Blocking the road are iron gates attached to the outbuildings. You can't see any visible lock or chain upon them. And you can see through the gates the stone abbey, and it's a large, imposing building. It's still intact. It's not destroyed or a ruin. But it's you can see there's like one central building. It's got two wings that stretch out. And they're joined by like a huge curtain wall. Like it's almost castle-like in construction. You can see there's a belfry, and there's a chimney that's blowing smoke, so someone is home.
That would be the Abbot.
Well, we'd hope.
I wonder if he's fat.
Does he
What?
need?
Fat Abbot? No? No one knows? Okay.
Oh, right, yeah.
All right. So what do you
Moving
do?
on. Is the gate sealed and locked?
The gate appears shut, but it doesn't look locked.
I guess we just walk through the gate.
Okay. So, you push on the gates, and you can see the hinges are rusted and aged. And as you push them, they let out a horrendous squeaking noise.
That's one way of announcing our presence.
So, as you push them open, you hear, not too far away, the sounds of shuffling and strangely laboured breathing. Two figures shamble forth towards you, and they're not tall. They're about like 4.5 foot each, maybe 5 foot at the maximum. And they appear draped in heavy woolen cloaks. One appears to be carrying a shovel, and the other has like a makeshift crappy looking lantern in one hand. And they sort of, you can hear laboured heavy breathing from where they are, and they're about 30-40 feet away from you.
How long has it been since we were at the pool?
Oh god, quite some time, because it's quite a treacherous way up as well, so a good couple of hours at least.
Okay. I'll cast Detect Good and Evil again then, just to check if one, the ground is consecrated like any good religious establishment should be, and secondly, to see if these two are creepy undead.
Okay. So
Oh,
what's the things that it can detect?
Aberration, celestial, elemental, fae, fiend, or undead.
Okay, give me a
So
second.
just not monstrosity or dragonoid or humanoid.
Una memento, por favor.
I'm so glad Rahal didn't ping when he cast that earlier.
What, the undead part?
Yeah. Or any power aberration, even.
You're not undead, you're just realived.
That's one way of seeing the world.
Yeah.
Vitally
You're like Death
challenged.
Wander. Death Wander.
I like it.
Huh. Okay. You don't detect anything.
Okay, no consecration?
No. Not at the grounds where you are, at least.
It's anything within 30.
Yes.
30
But
feet.
you are still quite a way out from the actual abbey itself, the abbey building itself.
Why is this in the middle of goddamn nowhere?
It's an
What
abbey.
is this?
Like Iona.
Is this Southern Germany?
Abbeys were always in the middle of fucking nowhere.
I mean, not originally. There's probably villages around them.
Yeah, but usually the abbey itself is maybe on a mountain or a bit far away. 320 steps, like that's milk. Anyway, I'm calling out to them. What is it? Good day, good evening, what's the time?
It's getting towards evening time now.
Good evening there. Coming to see the abbot?
Who are you?
You don't sound healthy, my good friend.
Friend?
Okay?
Friend?
Are you working here? Are you with the abbot?
Abbot. Abbot. As he gets closer, you can see there are two people. Well, people might not be the best description for them. You see one creature who is like in a strange squatting position as they walk. You can see that their cloak doesn't cover their head, and you see that they have they look almost like a beardless dwarf with patches of donkey flesh covering their face and body. They have one human ear and one wolf ear, and they have a partial wolf snout and fangs. Their arms and hands are human, but their legs and feet are like a cat's. And they have a donkey's tail. The other one is wearing a much more covering cloak. And you can see that out of this one, the left side of their face appears covered with scales. The right has tufts of fur, of grey wolf fur. Between these tufts that are sticking out of this side of their face, you can see pale white human skin. One of their eyes is feline. The other is a human. And her fingers and hands look like cat's paws, but with thumbs. And she speaks to you now.
The Abbot's personas.
Why would you say that? Stop this right now. She says, "We can take you to see the Abbot. Follow us."
That would be good.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you, Patches.
That's rude, I think.
I feel like we're about to get
Pretty
eaten
rude.
by a monstro.
She just turns on her heel and gives like a gruff and the other one is like, "Abbot, Abbot." And he's really excited and bounds off next to her. And every now and then he'll stop and turn and gesture towards you to follow them.
Is
Although-
Piddlywink with us?
Yes, Piddlewick is with you if you choose him to be so.
Hellfire.
Yeah, he can be with us.
I just love to see a showdown with those three. Wouldn't be much of a showdown. Piddlewick would destroy reality.
Okay, so they lead you through the gate, past the graveyard, towards the entrance of the abbey. And you can see at this point that a 15-foot high curtain wall joins the abbey's two wings. Behind its battlements, two guards stand at attention, their features obscured by fog. Below them, set into the wall, is a pair of 10-foot tall wooden doors reinforced with bands of steel. To the right of these doors, mounted on the wall, is a tarnished copper plaque.
What does it read?
The plaque reads, "The Abbey of St. Markovia." And then underneath it says, "May her light cure all illnesses."
Oh, okay. One of those clerics.
Who's her? I ask Volgus.
Volgus,
don't know.
you know that this abbey is named for a cleric named Markovia, who led an uprising against Strahd. She rallied the peasants and got as much of a fighting force as she could, and tried to take down Strahd. Unfortunately, she failed, but they named this abbey for her because she was known for being a humanitarian, and she gave a lot of aid to the people of Barovia before she couldn't take it anymore and led an uprising.
This abbey is named after a would-be usurper, Strahd. He's tried to rise up, overthrow him, get rid of him. Didn't go so well. But she helped a lot of people during her life, so she gets an abbey.
Fair.
Is it consecrated?
If you still got to spell it, you can tell it like this. There is a section that you can feel is consecrated.
Okay.
You think?
I think. Is it consecrated?
Therefore, you are.
I'm okay.
Okay, so they lead you to these great doors, and it takes both of them to push them open, and it opens up into a courtyard. And you can see that as you go in, the thick fog that fills this courtyard swirls as if eager to escape. The courtyard is surrounded by a 15-foot high curtain wall. Wow, they really want you to know there's a 15-foot high curtain wall in this description, on which stand several guards with their backs to you. Or so it seemed at first. It's clear now that these guards are merely scarecrows. Wooden doors to the north and east lead to the abbey's two wings. In the centre of the courtyard is a stone well fitted with an iron winch to which a rope and bucket are attached. Along the perimeter, tucked under the overhanging wall, are several stone sheds with padlocked wooden doors, as well as 3 shallow alcoves that contain wooden troughs. 2 wooden posts pounded into the rocky earth have iron rings bolted into them, and chained to one of them is a short humanoid with bat wings and spider mandibles. The quiet is shattered by horrible screams coming from the sheds.
Jesus, what's that? I asked the woman.
She turns to you and she says, "Family."
Oh.
Right.
Do we help?
The Abbot helps us.
I've seen people turn into animals. I mean, I've done it myself a couple of times, but may I ask, without being too forward, who or what are you?
She says, I am Siegfried. This here is Otto. Our family is cursed.
By whom?
Birth. We were born this way.
You said the bat person is chained up?
Yes.
Can I go over to the bat person?
Okay, so as you approach, the creature that's chained to this post flaps its leathery wings and tries to take to the air, but it doesn't get very far before the chains pull taut and it's dragged back down. It flutters around madly, and you can't pick up any language because it's trying to speak through a spider mouth. So you hear nonsense and jittering sounds.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Are you hungry?
She doesn't seem to quite understand what you're saying to her.
What do I have on me for them?
Can you tell us whereabouts the Abbot is?
She says, "Stay here. I'll fetch him."
I want to walk up to Meryl and the bat creature.
Mm-hmm.
As well. Does the bat creature look battered?
No, not at all. They are wearing substandard clothing. It's not great. It's tatty. It's dirty, but they don't look like they've suffered any sort of attacks or punishments or anything like that. They don't have any visible wounds to them.
Are they malnourished? Are they?
No.
I think they're being treated okay.
Yeah, I think so. It's probably just dangerous for them to fly away.
It probably has something to do with Markovia, right? St. Markovia. I wrote it down, but I can't read my own handwriting. It probably has something to do with the saint.
How?
It was said that she could, her hope was that she could cure all wounds, diseases, curses.
Do you speak up a bit? You're a bit quiet.
Why am I so quiet today? I don't know. Hi, am I less quiet now?
That's better.
You're still trying to feed them, Meryl?
If it doesn't want to eat, I'm not gonna force it to eat. But I'm just looking at it to see if it wants anything.
Okay, so let's say you dig around and you find some some rations. You've got like some hard tack or something in your bag. Oh, excuse me. And you pull it out and you gesture towards this creature, and it still seems very scared of you, very worried. It's not trying to fly away as much anymore, just trying to get as far away from you guys as possible. But the half wolf crouchy guy comes up, and Otto, and as he does, he comes forward and goes, "Come on, Mazina. These are friends. Friends. Mazina. Friends. Friends." And it seems to calm down a little bit and moves towards him. And he takes the food from your hand and gives and feeds it to through the creature, and she makes sort of like semi-happy chirping sounds as her mandibles get to work on this bit of ration.
Otto, do you want some strawberries? I have some strawberries.
Oh, the strawberries.
I'm gonna give Otto strawberries.
Okay. And he, as you place one in his hand, he looks at it very suspiciously for a second before he just smashes it into his snout. And let's just say he's not a graceful eater, but he seems to really, really enjoy it, and he's licking at his muzzle, and he goes, "Oh, that was so good."
Well, I figure you probably don't get exotic treats like that out here often.
No, the master is good.
Oh, I'm sure he's very good, but still, it's nice to have treats, right?
It's good. Strawberries are good. And his speech to you is very fractured and broken. It's not great, but you get the sense of what he's saying to you. And he says, "You see the abbot."
Yes, we'll go see the abbot.
You friend?
Yes. I'm a friend.
Good. Otto doesn't have to kill you.
And I look him dead in the eye and go, I don't have to kill you.
Then he sort of goes for a minute, then he goes, and he has like a horrific laugh.
Does Piddlywink laugh also?
Oh, Piddlewick, yeah, laughs.
What does
I'd like
Otto
to-
think of Piddlewick?
He's kind of entranced by Piddlewick, and Piddlewick is entranced by Otto. And you see that there's like a meeting of minds happening here. Like, they're both just like, ah. And Otto is actually going, ah. Ah. And, go on.
I'm gonna, while they're doing whatever
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna do, I'm gonna try to teach those two to play like a game, like a little kids game, like tic-tac-toe or something.
Okay. So you're waiting in the courtyard for a moment. Sorry, Jamie, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that while all this has happened with these weird, like strange individuals, I've been sort of interposing myself between the biggest sort of group of them, or the closest ones, so that I'm in the way of Arena.
Okay,
And
yeah.
kind of giving her a look like, I didn't know about this either.
And she looks frightened by where you are right now. She's very uncomfortable, to put it mildly. But the rest of the creatures here don't seem to be acting aggressively. The screams and stuff you're hearing is just them speaking. It's their calls to each other. Because unfortunately, as you look upon them, not all of them have like human mouths. They're humanoid in shape, but like Marzina, who's attached to the post, you know, some of them have like spider jaws, or, you know, just a whole messed up situation. So some of the only sounds they can make are scream-like in nature. But you look in on their sheds, because that's where they are, and they seem to have comfortable, if yet sort of dirty-ish bedding. And they've got like a, you know, space. It's not ideal. They're not exactly prison cells. But they have living arrangements, and they don't seem unhappy to be in there. So after a amount of time, after you spend a while in this courtyard, milling around and speaking with Otto and Marzina, the other one comes back, whose name is Siegfried, which is a hell of a name. And she says to you, "Come. The master wants to speak to you."
Just before we go, I want to quickly look in the well.
Okay.
See if I can ascertain if it comes from the same spring as the pool at the bottom.
Okay, so you look down the well, and it's a deep, dark well. As you do, you see a glint of something move. And there's a shaft of light coming down. As you look down, another one of these creatures appears. It scuttles out from the darkness, and you see on one side of his face, he has 3 red spider's eyes. And the left side of his face appears human. He has a frog's foot in place of his left hand, and a talon crow's foot where his right foot should be. And he's really long and gangly. And he sort of hisses at you a bit as you peer over the well, but doesn't make any aggressive moves towards you. The well for itself, you can see that the water is very, very low. It's not a very full up well.
I go see the Abbot. Yeah.
All right, okay. So just bear with me a second. So you are led into the main hall, and gentle sounding music trickles down from above. You look up, and it's played on a single-stringed instrument by some unseen master. There's no one playing this instrument; it's playing itself. The ground floor is one.
Ding, 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 ding,
That's a
ding,
banjo. That's got more than a string, Stuart. Come on.
It's the one-sputtering banjo.
The ground floor is one large 50-foot square room with arch-leaded glass windows. A cauldron sits on an iron rack above a fire in a hearth, while above the fireplace mantel hangs a golden disc engraved with the symbol of the sun. You know this to be the symbol of the Morning Lord. In one corner, a wooden staircase climbs to the upper level, while in another corner, a stone staircase descends into the darkness. Several chairs surround a wooden table that stretches nearly the length of the room. Wooden dishware and gold candelabras are neatly arranged on the table, standing behind which is a young woman with alabaster skin, dressed in a torn and soiled red gown. Her auburn hair is neatly bundled so as to not touch her soft shoulders. She seems somewhat lost in her own thoughts. Next to her, you see a handsome young man in a brown monk's robe, and he gently takes her by her hand. And he is wearing around his neck a painted wooden holy symbol of the Morning Lord. And as he sees you, he takes the girl's hand. And he says, "Ah, Fasilka, we have company. Welcome, friends. Welcome. Come in. Come in." And he's speaking with a very soft voice.
Weren't we told the Abbot was the only one here?
You were.
Maybe he doesn't like other people to know about the other ones living here because they might get judgmental.
Just saying it's like a harem.
Did we get told the name of the abbot?
You did not. And I'm trying to find it in my book.
So should I
I will
stall
step-
and not ask for his name for a
I will
while
step
until you're done?
forward.
Just
Say, "Hail, Abbot."
I'm still engrossed in Otto and Piddlywink and trying to teach. I'm going to teach them to dance together now.
Sorry,
Okay.
I've just been thinking of that end scene in Robin Hood Men in Tights where the I hate this guy. Hey, Abbot.
Hey, Abbot.
For the love of God, you people.
What?
Where the fuck is this guy's name? Holy shit.
Probably
Good job,
Google.
book.
We can just call him the Abbot.
Yeah, sure. Let's just go with the Abbot until I find it. So yes,
Call him Tony.
we're not calling him Tone.
Tony.
But then you have to speak with an Australian accent.
No. Tell you, right, I've got a workaround. Okay. You fuckers.
I mean, you can just name the Abbot whatever you want. His name's Billy.
His name is not Billy, but please do approach and speak to the abbot if you should choose to.
We
Yeah.
are.
Billy Bilovich, just to keep it on purpose.
I fucking hate this campaign. I'm done. I'm out. I quit.
Why?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, it's so good. We are so fun, and I can't believe you don't appreciate it.
One more Guy Fieri joke and she's out.
I can't work under these conditions.
we bring tidings from Flavortown.
Anyway.
I approach the abbot and I say hello.
Welcome, friends. Welcome. Sit. Sit.
I prefer to stand.
Very well.
Shudder.
I sit.
I stand wherever Arena ends up walking in the room.
How's the dancing going? Does it look like they've got it under control?
They have a few coordination issues, but they're making a really good effort of it, and it's funny at least.
I'm gonna give them the thumbs up, and I'm gonna sit down.
Okay. So you leave those two dancing and pretzing the routine, and at this point they are fast friends. And so they're working together and having a great time. So you take a seat. And you see that this man is too handsome, really. Like, this is not right. He should not look this young. He should not look this fresh. And so calm and composed, it's eerie somewhat. But he says to you,
Can I try and roll a perception check or something to see if it's maybe magic, an illusion of sorts?
And my detect good and evil should still be up.
okay,
10-minute duration.
okay, let me just check a thing.
The abbot is a dragon.
He's not a
It's
dragon.
He's actually the Morning Lord.
Sorry, that's carry on.
So basically, Stuart's just said, any abbot we meet
Yeah,
is a
I was
dragon.
about to say, what? Well, no,
Every important figure in my games is a dragon, obviously.
So we're dragons!
Thank you. Implying your own importance.
Okay, you know, Vulgus, that this creature in front of you, this man, is a celestial.
Oh. Oh. I assume we're on consecrated ground right now. This such section, maybe.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Rahal, did you want to roll that check?
that is no good. Hold on. I just need to get my sheet up. Well, it's 12.
12. This guy's just really fucking hot. It's kind of distracting, really.
I was expecting, like, until you said that, I had him like Merry Monk style, like young but Merry Monk. Now I'm more like, I don't know what.
Is it like Christian Slater in The Name of the Rose?
It's like,
Sort of that innocence.
you're like,
Right.
bless me, Father, for I am about to sin. That's
Like,
how hot he is.
Like George of the Jungle, Brendan Fraser in a monk outfit.
Kind of, yeah, but, you know, not as, you know, but when she ties him all up, you know,
Yeah.
she gets his hair cut and he's
Yeah,
all
Wait,
like,
what?
Tidy.
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 Lydia!
You said it!
I said tidy.
Tidy.
It's not what
I-
it sounded like.
Thank
Not
you,
gonna lie,
Marissa.
I also heard ties him up.
I mean, coming from the land of Sigmund Freud, I'm just saying. Susie, I'm just saying, not judging.
That's when you.
You're not afraid to say.
What, Jason? Don't Lydia me.
Wait,
So,
Abbott,
yes,
it's good to see a bastion of lights within this land.
I would hardly call myself that, but It is good to see another man of faith.
I wasn't particularly talking about you.
Oh.
But, now that you mention yourself, there's something I wish to ask about you.
Mm.
Is this what you really look like?
Yes.
Is he lying?
Insight check, motherfucker.
Natural 20.
A lot. Like, a lot. Like, really a lot. Like, 26.
Okay, so Rahal and Volgus, this dude is lying.
I'd always thought if I met a celestial, a creature of the divine, that they'd be a little more grandiose.
Perhaps for some. I lived the life of an abbot.
I see. Well, at least we know that we're in good company. Yeah, and it seems my services I offered to the burgomaster are not really needed.
Ah, you spoke to Kreskilva.
Yes, I offered to bless the body of a child,
That won't be necessary.
as I said.
And he summons forth Siegfried and whispers something to her, and she scampers off somewhere.
So, actually, I shouldn't be the one saying this. This is not my charge. This is not something
I'm
I
not
know
entirely
of.
sure what a celestial is, so I'm a bit confused at that point about the conversation they've been having.
He stops for a second, he says, oh, pardon me. And he whispers a word and traces a sigil in the air with his fingers. And you watch for a moment as this disguise he's wearing drops, and you see before you a beautiful shining creature before you that looks like an angel. He has immense wings, and he has like a radiating glow about himself.
Whew. I feel like I'm repeating myself today, but what on earth are you?
I am a deva. And then he traces the sigil again, and he goes back to how he was.
Yeah, that's better. The wings did seem a bit much.
This
Awkward
place,
getting through doors, I imagine.
Startling for the common folk.
Our lady friend here has a problem with a vampire not taking no for an answer. Is that anything you can help us with?
Ah, she's one of Strahd's chosen, I see.
Oh, is there more than one?
There have been many over the years.
I'm assuming that
At the same-
Abbot here has been around for a while.
You
Never
must
at
think
the same
correctly.
time?
Oh, he takes many brides.
Well, that's just rude.
And all of them look exactly the same.
No, not necessarily.
Only the special ones.
There is
Whenever
a
the
recount.
Count needs to fulfill certain desires, he will scout the towns for youths. Male, female, he doesn't seem to have a preference.
Oh, he seems to have a preference.
Give us talking as if you're not here, Arena, but
She's just kind of looks shell-shocked by the fact that an angel just appeared before her. She's just like, the fuck?
we keep seeing her face crop up, and she says she is Titiana. I keep wanting to say Titania, but that's not.
This, his head snaps immediately to Arena. Are you Perhaps the reincarnated soul of the dear Tatiana.
That's what we've been led to believe.
And
That's
I'm sorry,
what
I
God
don't
seems
think
to believe.
I don't think we got your name. Who are you? If this is the Abbot, we only knew the Abbot was around. Forgive me for being suspicious.
No, your suspicion is well founded.
Usually is.
Unfortunately, I can't do much to allay that. I lost my name centuries ago. I am merely the Abbot now.
Oh, so you're the Abbot?
I am.
Am I the only one wondering how someone can lose a name?
No,
You can have it taken from you.
I lose things all the time.
we're talking with a being here that doesn't have the same outlook on creation as us. Our rules don't.
Very
really
great.
apply.
So, the Abbot,
Mm.
how long have you been here? Do you know the original Tatiana? You sound like you knew her.
No, I arrived sometime after the tragedy of that night. Perhaps a century after. It's
How
been
many
many
times?
more since.
And how many times has Tatiana reincarnated since then that you know of?
That I know of. Once. And there she is. I have heard tales.
Which tales?
Tales of young girls chosen by him, stoned to death by their loved ones. Tales of unfortunate accidents. Tales of cold-blooded murder. I even heard once that he got what he wanted. But in his attempt to make her like him, he killed her. I remember that one. I remember the unholy storms we suffered for years afterwards.
Are you telling me he tries to seduce the reincarnation of this lady and then has temper tantrums for centuries after when he doesn't get his way?
Yes.
Do you think we can solve this all with just a fleshlight and some therapy?
Well, that's it. We peaked. That's the best thing that has happened on stream will probably be the best thing that will happen on stream for the next 2-3 sessions.
So, Susie, if you ever want to advertise this stream,
I mean-
clip
Clip that shit.
Clip
people.
that. I'll send that to Chris Perkins, huh? Oh.
Oh,
Mm.
Oh god, that made me laugh so much I went a bit red.
I can see it now. Just been emailed around Wizards of the Coast, like, oh, well, yep, they've solved it.
We sold it because of Strahd. There it is. Fuck.
I don't know how to go on from that.
At which point, the Abbot looks to the woman at his right. No, wait, she was on his left. So she would be on his right. He looks at her and says, "Oh, well, that line of thinking is why we have Vasilka here." And he sort of puts a hand under her chin and turns her to face him. And she gives like her eyes are very vacant, but she gives a small smile.
That is definitely the creepiest thing I've encountered this whole
Actually,
game.
roll me a perception check as well.
Who?
All of us?
All of
Super
you.
gross.
That's 15.
15 plus 8. What's that?
An immense 3.
23.
Okay.
15.
Okay. Kerchak, you feel a small poke in your ribs as Irina sat next to you says, "Look at her neck." And you see, and Volga, you see this at the same time, there's very finely done stitching around her neck. And as you notice that and you look closer, you see that her arm, below where the gown cuts off, you can see that, like, the arm is slightly the wrong shade about halfway down the forearm, and you can
And-
see stitching.
Is this not pinging my detect good and evil?
It might have done, yes. My apologies.
He was too blown away by the radiance that is
The angle.
the Abbot.
The angle. It's the angle and
Nicholas
the devil.
Angle. Give me Nicholas. Nicholas Angle.
Mm-mm.
No,
Oh.
Sergeant
it's
Angle.
Ang-
More
it's
than
Angle.
Angle.
It's Angle
More
the
than
bar-
Angle.
It's the Angle the Barbarian.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I miss
Throwback.
angle.
I miss Angle too.
Angle's the best.
Good times.
I think I used the nickname Patches too soon.
What am I looking at here?
An
and why?
abomination.
She's beautiful.
She's a stitched horror.
Hmm.
She's also a magic god.
Wait, did somebody make her
I did.
on purpose?
Yes.
Did you
To give
make
to
those
him.
outside?
No. I look
You're a
after
cat.
the Bellevue family. They would not survive in Barovia. They would be hunted and killed by the peasants. They're safe here with me.
But you know you can't just give a woman to somebody else without her consent, alive or dead.
Is this your? What am I looking at? I mean, what is your plan with her? Is she? And I address her. Can you hear me? Can you? Who are you? Speak for yourself if you can, please.
She she looks at you, but she does not speak.
What is this? What am? What are we? What did we get into here?
By presenting him for Silka, I will spare a girl or boy of Barovia the torture of being his plaything. She is a
Abominable.
creature, a construct. She is exquisite, and she will be a fine bride for him.
And
An
where did you get the
abomination.
parts from?
We're an abomination.
Death is all too common in Barovia.
Were they volunteered?
The people of Barovia do not care for their deceased.
Can I insight check that whole thing?
Mm-hmm. What's this nod for, Stu?
Barovian's not caring about their deceased. They don't. Not the
Twen-
Rahalmas, that.
Fucking
Mhm.
6.
August is just like,
What was that?
26.
26. Okay, you get the feeling like he's been truthful. It's not like he's pulled a Birkin hair and he's been popping people off in the streets to get his body parts. And although you have seen graveyards in Barovia, the ones you've seen, they've been like very poorly tended to. They're more just like convenient places to chuck bodies rather than places to go and visit and remember the deceased. So what are you saying about the Barovians not really caring about their deceased is true, because people die all the time in Barovia.
Would he accept something like her?
I don't know.
to find out.
Exactly.
So basically what we've done is we've found the toy maker for the petulant child that likes to throw tantrums.
He is no child.
Not in body,
Yeah, it's like one.
but in temperament.
He acts like a tortured man. He acts as a man in a desert, dying of thirst, mouth barren, clutching to life, and then water dangled in front of him and then snatched away at the last second. Yes.
What's a desert?
A desert is dry, hot, barren land. Yes,
How do you know what a desert is?
I was not always here.
Would those of us not from Barovia know what a desert was?
Probably not if you've not been around. Although you
So I'm
were from
thinking-
like around Baldur's Gate, so you might have seen people who've come from hot places.
I gotta say, the average person in the Forgotten Realms seems to travel a touch more than most fantasy settings. What with all the magical rifts opening constantly every 25 years.
So you might not be personally familiar with the desert, but you may have heard of these long stretching pieces of land where there's no life or anything like that, and it's hot and shit, and why the fuck would anyone be there?
Do you know how he got into that desert? Who made him vampire?
He did, by the sounds of things.
He has told me a tale. I'm not quite sure I believe all of it.
Wait, he's told you?
Yes.
You know him personally? Your buddies?
Not quite. I have arranged talks with him. See if I could solve our problems peacefully. He was unwilling to come to any arrangement, but he was willing to talk.
What did he tell you?
He told me of dark powers that promised him the world and then took everything from him. He's a very angry man.
Could we have a little bit more detail? Maybe we can compare notes, because we know a few things, but who knows what's real.
He told me of a selfish desire to be young again, to be the young soldier he once was in the prime of his life. He was bitterly jealous of his brother.
Did he mention killing his brother?
He did not. And he looks again at Irina and goes, "Is this true? Did he kill his brother, Tatiana?"
Her
And
name's not Tatiana.
she clenches a jaw and says, "I am Irina."
Whoops.
And the memories that have been placed inside my head say that he did kill his brother. And she's just giving him like the stare down, but she's kind of like trying to avert her gaze as well. She's not quite sure. She's trying to be like standing her ground, but she's also kind of like in awe of this presence in front of her. And he doesn't seem affected by this. He doesn't seem to pick up on the fact that she looks so uncomfortable and upset with everything that's happened within today. And he just smiles. Ah, well, I suppose that does make some sense.
So, despite all of the torturedness of Strahd, by his own hand, he even admits that it's his fault he's in this situation. Does not sound like a tortured man to me. He sounds like a fool getting his comeuppance.
How simple life is for you mortals.
Like we said earlier, petulant child.
It would seem that way for someone who doesn't live a century.
Neither would Strahd if he hadn't made a dark bargain.
No, he would not.
For
And
those-
yet, here we are.
What do you know of these dark powers?
I know that this land is ruled by them. That they really control what happens here. I know of a temple to the south, beyond the swamps, beyond the ruins of Barras, where they are said to lie. I have
As
not gone
in-
there myself.
As in lie down or tell
Yes.
false truths?
Lie down.
What do they want?
I'm not quite certain.
I'll tell you
We
one
have-
thing you don't want.
Mm.
Happiness.
We have been told they want rid of him.
Oh,
Does not mean it's the truth, but
and who told you that?
a wolf.
Ah. I see it now. Yes. The powers have left their mark on you, haven't they, Deagle? Interesting.
Is there any way to talk to the dark powers and figure out what they want?
Perhaps a visit to the temple would help.
Can Otto come with us?
Otto must stay here. It's not
would-
safe for him.
Hate to separate him from his new friend.
Well, I suppose there's only one option left. Either way, someone's going to have a bad day. Is it going to be you or this sweet, innocent little creature?
Don't guilt me.
He might be safer here with his new friends.
But would everyone else be safer?
Wow, the emotional manipulation happening right now. Dang, you guys.
I have no
No.
part in this. Abbot,
Yes.
what of these creatures, these people? Why are they like this?
Their family was afflicted by a horrible curse.
Curses don't just afflict themselves on anyone. Who cursed them?
I don't know.
I don't believe that.
Insight check then.
Oh, natural 20. That's 28 up the go.
28.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Okay, give me a second. I
I see you.
see you, villain.
I see through your lies.
Okay, you can tell he is lying through his teeth.
I once heard a story about angels, and it was said that you couldn't tell if they were lying, but they could tell if you were lying. It seems as if it's the other way around.
Why? Are you withholding truths from me?
No, but I know you're withholding truths from me. Who really cursed them?
In truth, they did.
Yes, themselves.
They came to me a long time ago. They were a family, unfortunately stricken with leprosy. They came to me so that I may cure them. And I did. I rid them of their disease. And they were grateful for that. But to them, being human wasn't curing them. They wanted the eyes of a cat, the wings of a bat. They wanted to smell and hunt and hear as dogs. And so I granted their wish.
Who would have thought angels would be a lot wiser?
Not less evil.
Maybe just less literal. A bit more like...
And you had to grant that wish for generations to come.
No, I have a feeling those are the same ones.
Yes.
They told us they were born like that.
Been probably told to tell people that.
No. They considered themselves reborn once I changed them. I regret my decision. Do not think that I do not.
Well, I don't know if that's comforting or not.
Hmm.
To know that even the immortal make bad decisions. Still, there's nothing we can do about it.
It's not even why we were here.
I think we need to discuss for a moment. Abbot, would you grant us a reprieve?
Yes. I need to go check on Ilya. And he takes Vasilka's hand and says, "Come, my love," and leads her out of the room. And you are left alone in this room.
What a creep.
Yes, I have to agree there. I never thought I'd say that about an angel, but something's not right. I have a feeling that their heart is in a good place, but over time has become twisted. You know, the goal is righteous, but the methodology is not.
Do the ends outweigh the means?
Depends if the means reach the end that they want, I suppose.
That's it. I thought that question was very simple for you.
It is.
Arena, what do you think? We were supposed to bring you here, but here doesn't quite live up to expectation.
I feel like now he knows about Tatiana.
Mm-hmm.
He won't deliver Vasilka to Strahd.
That was my feeling exactly.
He'll deliver you.
Yes.
Volgus, do you think this creature is bound by some sort of honor? If we get them to swear, would they uphold the oath?
I don't know. Would I know that? Okay. I don't know. I do not know.
Then I'm not confident in leaving you here.
No, I can't stay here.
Where can you stay, though?
I don't know.
I suppose there is one solution.
Yes?
Something that I believe you three had already intended to do. A man cannot take you as his bride if they're dead.
That doesn't solve anything, it would seem.
No, at least not. At least not forever, but perhaps for the lifetime of Irina. And perhaps there's something you may find along the way, or perhaps give a more permanent solution.
What are you saying?
We're not talking about killing you.
No, we're talking about killing Strahd, just to be clear.
A creature like the Abbot hasn't devised a way.
But the Abbot doesn't have what you two have, specifically.
Who to?
Yourself and Rahab.
Which is?
Time spent outside of Barovia.
He does. He did
yeah.
say he was.
Recently. Have you ever been in a position where you've been stuck in a situation for a long period of time?
Nope. I don't like to stagnate.
Well, if you do
Keep moving forward.
if you do get stuck in such a position, you do stagnate. And if you stagnate, you just swim in a circle like a little fish.
I shoot Volgus an absolutely confused look.
What I'm saying is I believe that this creature has been here too long to see clearly the goal that they're going for anymore. Like we said, they cannot be trusted. Someone with a clearer, fresher mindset, not tainted as much by Barovia as you two, might think of a better way to defeat that forevermore.
Also, Rahal has something the angel definitely doesn't.
I
Pass
dread
me.
to ask.
Quickly run out of the window, jump out of the window.
Pitch yourself off the cliff. It's the only way.
Yeah, Tatiana had the right idea. I'm not saying that out loud.
And what exactly is this?
Oh, you had to go ask, Bulbus. You had to go ask.
Her refined feminine personality.
That's code for tits.
That's another clip right there.
Ooh. Mm.
I'm hesitant to ask, but how would that help? What?
Just
No.
kidding. I was talking about your connection to the dark.
Oh, good. Because I was worried there for a second. Yes, dark power is much more reliable.
You notice that Arena has been very quiet this whole time. She has her hands in her lap. And she looks up and she says, "What if I am fated to die?"
Everyone is.
I almost said it too. I'm glad we didn't say it in unison.
Literally, everyone turns around. Everyone died.
Team optimism.
She says, "You heard the Abbot."
I also saw when the abbot decided that a way to get around it would be to construct someone out of dead bodies and pose them as a wife. I don't care what the abbot says in this situation. The abbot is probably wrong.
But if it is true that every time Tatiana gets reincarnated, she dies again, then what is the point of this? If I flee only to have a horrific... I fall from horseback, break my neck, slip down a cliff. If I'm fated for that, then...
Well, don't you think that
Why?
it's worthwhile if there's a chance to break the cycle?
Perhaps Tatiana's not giving up. Not giving up again and again and again, refusing to fade.
I don't want to die.
Then
And I don't want to die at his hand.
Then don't.
That's why we're here,
Exactly.
to break that cycle.
Thinking things like that, thinking as if fate has any hand in this is well, defeatist. Every cycle, save for one, can be broken.
Oops.
Let's hope so.
And Arena.
Hmm?
Have you ever wondered why I fight so recklessly? It's because, yeah, you're born. You're gonna die someday. That's irrelevant to the matter. The only relevant thing is what you do with the time that's given to you. You have to fight constantly to make something of yourself, to make a change, to pursue whatever it is you need to do. The mark that you leave behind isn't what happens at the end of your life. It's the result of the life you've lived.
Oh.
So whatever end you decide, like whatever way you go from this world, how do you see your legacy?
I just put my hand out to Kerchak,
What?
as if to shake it.
Huh. I grab it real hard.
It's very well said, Kerchak.
What, in my
Write
culture?
that down.
In my culture, it's more of a spoken word thing. You
Write that down. That's good
it's
advice.
better told as a story.
Right, but some people don't like stories like that.
Right, we're arguing about something that's irrelevant at this point. That guy's probably already off talking to Strahd now, so I've only just thought of that. Maybe we should go.
Oh.
Because, yeah. Logical conclusions.
Go where?
Elsewhere.
Where is elsewhere?
Not here.
You cannot just run in a single direction.
All right, as you're talking, through the doorway, which was left open by the abbot as you walk through, you hear the sound of a young boy giggling. And that's where we're going to take our break. We'll be back real soon. So just, we'll be throwing the code up in chat for the free golden chest for Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. So plug that into your game. And we will see you in about 5 minutes. And we're back. Thank you for bearing with us during that break. Just as a reminder, if you're in chat and you've just showed up, because I put a tweet out about the code, you can just type in !code and it will pop it up on the chat, like I'm going to do right now, like this. Boom, bah. There you go. Cool. So, also as well, that code only lasts 24 hours, so get it now while it's hot. So, where were we?
Talking about Jenny from the block.
A child giggled, and then we talked about
That's right. So you were just talking about making a hasty retreat from the creepy as fuck Abbot, when you heard the sound of a child's laughter coming down the hallway, a young boy's laughter, in fact.
Quick, someone tell a dad joke and shut him up.
Piddlywink is like not missing, right?
It's not Piddlewick's laugh, no.
Who are you?
Okay, give me a second. Because I
You just
need
pull out a Kratos. Boy.
boy. Dad of boy. You see a young child, a young boy, pop his head around the door and says, "Hello."
Hello.
He doesn't look like the others.
No, he is not like the Bellevue family.
Who are
What's
you?
your name? Oh.
My name's Ilya. What's your name?
Did we hear that name before?
You did. You'd been told that the Kreskov family,
Yeah.
their son Ilya. You also told he was 14. This kid is not 14.
Ilya?
Hmm.
Where's your mum and dad?
They're in the town.
Why aren't you dead?
Oh.
I'll just go around asking people why they're not dead. Well,
I do it all the time.
The Abbot brought me back.
Why are you
Wouldn't
not?
your mum and dad like to know that you're back?
He's gonna take me home.
Why aren't you 14?
He just squints at you like that.
How old are you, Ilya?
I am... And he puts like 7 fingers out. He goes, this many. 7.
While
he
while
must-
they're doing this, I'd like to sort of move. Is Arena sat down?
I don't know. Did you guys stand up? Were you guys like standing up and moving out, or were you still kind of sat around?
We would.
I think I stood up when the kid came in to get a bit closer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all I want to do is sort of make sure that no one's going to sneak up on us and just say in her ear, "Get ready to run," because the Abbot said he was going to check on Ilya,
All right.
and he's there.
Okay, so she just she nods and she sort of you can see like her body's ready to go.
Obligatory does my thingy ping anything?
No.
No.
Gross. I need to have a quick sidebar with Piddlewink.
Okay.
I'm
So
already scared.
you sort of gesture towards Piddlewick, which goes, and he comes over towards you and stares up at you lovingly with the burning eyes.
Do you want to stay here,
Evil.
And you see
or do you
it.
want to come with me?
You see it stop for a second, and as you said, you want to stay here. It shakes its head vigorously from side to side,
Okay, go say goodbye to your friend.
and then he runs off into the courtyard,
Okay.
giggling as he goes.
Ding, 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 ding.
No.
Are you going to take me home?
We could. Not sure if...
How many times has this happened, Ilya?
Has what happened?
Has that Abbot taken you home?
No times.
Guessing at all this.
The burgomaster said that she'd lost multiple children.
I was very sick. But I'm not anymore.
Second, if all of those children had been the same child.
Dude, you're so quiet.
God damn it.
I think that she would have noticed if the child that came back each time was the same one. I mean, for one, she'd have, she said she had multiple kids. So she was probably thinking, I raised multiple kids.
That is true, but one can never be too careful in this land.
And this one's still saying their name's Ilya, and that's who we were supposed to find. If it was going back each time, it'd have a different name.
Where's the abbot? Where did
He's
he go?
coming.
I'm walking towards the kids or wherever the abbot left. I'm assuming it was the same door.
Yeah, it was the same door.
I just walk towards that.
Okay. So you go down like a corridor, and you see that you end up in a room, and you see a room which used to be an office at one point. You can tell it's because there's a desk and a chair, or the remains of which they appear to have been smashed into pieces. And there's a hallway to the south of this room. There's another doorway leading out. Leads to a staircase going up. There is also another passage leading off this room, which leads to the east. And you hear whispers, mad laughter, and a horrible smell.
Can I edge closer to hear what the whispers are?
Okay, you can't quite make out what the whispers are. It sounds like just chattering, just nonsensical chattering.
Nobody's been following me, right? I'm now away from the others.
Mm-hmm.
Can I look into the room with the smashed furniture?
Yep. It's a very bare room. But the it's not an elaborate desk. It's quite simple. This used to be an abbey, a place of worship. It was simple, and it has just been smashed into absolute pieces. By what appears to be not. There's no weapon marks, so it wasn't done by an axe or a sword or anything. This seems to have just been pummeled.
There's nothing that catches my eye. Any notes?
No,
lying around?
like there's literally in here, all that's left is the remains of this desk and chair.
I think I'll return to the others. This is creepy as fuck.
Coward.
Yeah.
Alright, okay. So, meanwhile, Ilya is just kind of stood there, just, doing that weird kid thing where they just, like, swing side to side. What are you guys doing?
And when I come, or is that while I'm gone?
Yeah, while you're gone, yeah.
So, do you know where the abbot is now? You say he's coming, but we heard he was looking for you, so don't know if you saw him on your way.
Well, he came to wake me up, and then Vasilka was with him, so maybe he took Vasilka to her room?
And whereabouts is that? Sorry, I don't know the layout of the abbey yet.
Oh, it's miles away.
Oh, so he's going to be a while then.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go home?
Yeah, I miss my mummy
would
and daddy a lot.
Okay. Well, Vulgus, what do you say on the matter?
Oh, I am stumped. I truly don't know really what's going on in this place.
Neither do I.
I don't think I want to be here much longer.
Neither do I.
Unless this place holds something of value.
coming back in, I want to say there's some more weird shit that way. Chattering voices, madness, laughter. Not going in there alone. Kind of want to go though.
I'll go with you.
Literally anyone else.
I'm sticking with Arena.
Rahal, aren't you curious? Just a little?
Not in the way you're hoping.
I just wanted to see what you wanted to show us.
I don't know, but if the abbot is as powerful as we have every right to assume, maybe there's something here that will help us. Cool.
So let's go look.
If you hear us scream, we're in trouble. And I walk back out and
All
gesture
right.
they're all to come.
Okay, dokie. So, you guys head
Some good
towards.
times between gal pals.
Motherfucker. And I want to cast, as we get a bit further, I want to cast Detect Magic.
All right. Okay, so you head down the dark corridor, and as you move down, you can see that there are many doors here that line this corridor, and behind them you hear creatures, and the silence that pervaded as you entered the corridor is suddenly broken as they hear your footsteps, and in response to them you hear a series of mad cackles, and you hear taunting, you hear heckling, you hear pleas, or you think they're pleas for help. You can't hear speech, you hear guttural sounds, and the smell in here is just foul. Decay, rot, body odor, excrement, it's all here. And it's overwhelming.
Is that the Bellevue family?
I don't think it is.
Some of the doors have small windows in them that are barred. And these, now as you're going past them, you can see these are practically cell doors. You peer inside and you can see just a horrific, just almost shapeless form that maybe once was human, and it's just mutated and hideous and hastily cobbled together. You can see there's like an arm on it that's way too long, and its skin shade doesn't match with the rest, and you see this creature just turn at you, and it gives you a mournful look, and a low guttural sound just erupts from its mouth as it sees you. It doesn't move. It can't move.
Can I see if they look stitched together or
Yes.
naturally grown?
So now you know to look for it for seeing Vasilka. This thing has been stitched together.
Why would he do that? That's
I think he's been working on prototypes for Vasilka.
all these different links. I want to walk through it. And you said there was a staircase somewhere?
That's back in the foyer.
Hey, I want to talk to the thing in the cell for a second.
Okay.
Hey, buddy.
You get nothing but just a low, mournful cry back in response.
Do you want me to put you out of your misery, or are you okay?
You're not entirely sure if the creature understands what you're saying, but its eyes are so sorrowful. This thing is in incredible pain.
Okay, buddy. Cry twice if you want me to kill you.
You again just get a long, drawn-out moan in response. Just one.
What do you think, Rahal?
I think this is... And where I come from, they throw this phrase around a lot, but this is very much against nature.
I meant more, do you think that was a yes or a no?
I don't think it has the. I don't
What?
think I understood what you were saying. I don't think this creature is.
You don't think it's conscious?
I don't know.
They should have sent a philosopher.
Not more than an animal can be, and I mean,
Can you talk to it?
not right now, no.
As
Well,
you're stood talking, you hear further down the corridor the sounds of heavy, shuffling footfalls heading towards you. It's echoing down the corridor as it goes.
Did Abbot make footsteps? Is it?
You actually
was-
noticed when the abbot left, he almost appeared to glide out. You
Yeah.
you didn't notice if he made footsteps. If he did, they didn't make much sound.
What is it towards the end of the corridor? Is it just a one long corridor? We can't really see the end.
Yeah,
or
so it's a very long corridor and you can't see the end. It's so dark in here. There's no windows. Like save for tiny little slits in the cells. But after a little while, this is getting much, much closer, and in the gloom, what little light that's coming through, you can make out the form, a monstrous shape, and it's lumbering down the hall towards you.
yeah, I think we'd better book it to the next place.
no, if it's like Siegfried. And also,
Yeah.
just you want to go back or you want to move on? What was that?
Let's keep going forward.
Okay, you're moving towards the creature.
No, wasn't there like a staircase or something
Uh,
that goes to the office?
Then
Wait, what do I
that's-
see around us?
Okay, so where you are right now, you're in a long corridor. You're about halfway down, as though what you think is about halfway down. Right at the other end from where you didn't come in, this big shape is lumbering towards you. The other way is back to the foyer with the smashed desk, chair, and the staircase going up.
Oh. I think we should check out that office.
The office of Smash Bun?
Yeah. He probably has records of what he's doing to bring back.
Could have gone. I mean, can I go back in there with the detect magic up? See, I didn't notice anything there. I didn't notice any notes. or
No,
anything else.
there was nothing there.
And with the detect magic, is there?
You couldn't detect anything, no.
You want to go upstairs?
Kind of want to see who that is.
Okie dokie.
I want to actually walk towards the lumbering shape.
All
I'll go with
right.
you.
Okay. As you approach, you see now that this lumbering shape is a hideous sight. It's a 7-foot tall, just composite of human body parts, roughly stitched together.
I try not to be judgmental, but gross.
We're looking for the abbot.
And you can see that this thing rears back and it just lets out an unholy roar.
Is it charging towards us with
And
that
it
roar?
does move towards
Fuck's
you at
sake.
a very fast pace. Roll initiative.
Oh crap.
Wait, where's my fighting music? Come here, fight music.
Hey, Volgas, how do you think the reconnaissance mission's going?
And then you hear,
About as well as to be expected.
Fine, I think, yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any cellar around here. I could do with a glass of wine. Should we go have a look for a cellar?
Now of all times.
Of course, Ned can handle that.
I was
Goodbye.
thinking more along the lines of we kind of need to leave at some point very soon because
Oh, yes, but we can leave.
through the cellar.
Sure.
ooh.
We
Oh,
can leave with a glass of wine. It'll help calm Irina's nerves as well.
If you say so.
Check out the rest of the car, Abby.
Good.
Do something useful.
All right,
Good,
so
fine.
25 to 20.
Oh, should I actually roll?
Yes. Unless you're abstaining from combat, you hear the roar, you hear them go, ah! And you're just like, ah, fuck them.
I mean,
It's just for how.
All right, 25 to 20
I saw
anyone.
that.
Nope. 20 to 15? Oh, guys. 15 to 10.
14.
13.
Okay. 10 to 5.
9.
9.
5.
Good job, everybody. I am
Many.
so proud. Holy shit. Right, so this creature makes its advance upon you, and before you know it, matching order here, who was further down the corridor between Rahal and Meryl?
Definitely Rahal.
Rahal, okay. Let me just see how wide this corridor is. Bear with me a second.
Oops.
Give me my map. Come here, map. Oh, it's only 5 feet wide. Nice. Okay, so it rushes at you. And it is going to make 2 slam attacks at you. Because it can do that.
Cool.
So,
I'm just gonna die again then.
21 to hit. So I assume 21 hits, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so you take... Whew. Oh! Wait a minute.
So you're gonna take another dark bargaining or what?
So,
I am.
Rahal, you watch as this creature lumbers towards you, and with one giant fist, it brings it down, wham, and you take 17 points of bludgeoning damage on the
I mean, that's
first. It brings back another slam. Oh, yeah, that's gonna do it. That'll be 26 to hit. Don't give me that face. And it brings down the second for 11 points. You receive 2 mighty blows from this large creature. Kerchak, you hear from where you are in the hallway an almighty roar, and then and the sounds of Rahal going, ah! As she gets battered.
Can I have a bit more of a respectable scream? Thank you very much.
Wilhelm or nothing.
When other people do it, it's terrible, but when you're the sound designer, you have to throw it in there, so I understand why it's so popular. How far away did the scream sound?
Okay, so from where you are right now, the screams are a significant distance away.
Right.
But how
Yeah,
close is the cellar?
I'll turn to Volgus and say, watch arena, and I'll start heading that way.
Okay.
But try and sort of, I'm trying to stay in between, just in case something happens down there or something happens the other side. I'm trying to figure out what's what.
I'll say that it'll take you this turn to like sprint there, and then your next turn you'll be there and be able to do something.
Okay.
Okay. So, Volgus, you watch, you've also heard this horrific sound. You've seen Kerchak turn to you, say, watch arena, and then he sprints off. What do you do?
Turn to Arena and say, how are you holding up? And then end with them.
Okay, Rahal, you have just had 2 mighty fists rain down upon you. What do you do?
I cast Hold Person. Even though I'm not quite sure this counts as a person, but I'll give it a try.
Okay, you can try.
Do you have
Actually-
hold people?
Roll an intelligence check for me.
Thank you. That is 16 plus something. Plus 1. 17.
Okay, you're not entirely sure what this is, but you know it isn't a person.
Cool.
It's people.
It's
Do I
multiple
know-
people.
Several persons. Is
Do
there...
I know if it's an aberration?
Unfortunately, it is not an aberration.
Is there anything metal about him?
No.
It works. Then I will. Fuck! I will turn into something. I'm
You will
assuming.
fuck?
You're worse than Marissa
I
today.
know,
hope
I
you're
know.
aware.
It's catching.
I'm
It's
assuming
fun.
the corridor is too small for a giant constrictor snake.
How big is the snake?
It's a large thing.
That's too much
Um,
then.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, the corridor is not 5 feet wide, it's 10 feet wide. So if you are a medium, large creature, you could fit.
Can I try and with constricting and everything movement-wise, that would work?
I'll allow it.
I'm gonna go giant constrictor snake.
Okay. You turn into a big ass snake.
I'm turning into a big ass snake, and I will try and constrict the thing.
Okay.
That is 23.
Oh, yes, that will hit.
Constrict. So it takes damage and has to roll a DC 16 grapple check.
Okay. Oof. It passes the check.
It still takes 12 bludgeoning damage.
Nice. Okay, so you give this thing, you turn into a snake, you give this thing a big ass squeeze. You're like, fuck you. And you constrict as tight as you can. Doesn't seem to hurt the creature as much as you might think it would. So are you just like staying on it? Like, okay. Meryl, you saw this creature come lumbering down. You saw it attack Rahal. Then suddenly Rahal's a snake. What are you gonna do?
It has stitching, yeah.
Yeah.
I am going to do 2 attacks with my short sword and 1 with my scythe on the stitching.
Okay.
So 15,
Mm-hmm.
14,
Mm-hmm.
17.
They all hit.
Ooh, nice. Oh, I guess I better roll damage. Burp, 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 burp. That is 8,
Mhm.
6, and 4.
Okay, nice.
Does that break any stitching?
Okay, so you look for pieces that are stretched out tight by Rahal as she's in snake form, and you're like, hey, and then you aim for the stitching. You pop a couple of stitches, and then as you do, the creature howls in pain.
Does anything fall off?
No, not quite, but there's some areas that just sort of like plop up in a little bit. Nice. Okay, so it's now the creature's turn, and he's going to well, this is basically it's just a big fucking idiot thing, so all it can do is just go ugh, and slam. So it's gonna slam attack you, Rahal, because you are like up in its grill. Will a 13 hit? Okay. And that is 17 bludgeoning on the first. Will a... Oh, that will hit, yep, because the other one hits. That's 16, so that will hit. Oh, you lucky fucker. That's
Lucky she
6
did.
bludgeoning damage. I rolled 2 1s. So
Doesn't
again...
that mean it hits itself so badly that its arm falls off?
No. Good attempt, though. Good attempt. So, Kerchak, you can see the scene ahead of you now. Rahal is a snake. Meryl is stabbing wildly, and you see this huge lumbering creature going "Whoa!" and pummeling at Rahal.
I let out a slight sigh and start running towards, but you know, like drawing two javelins. But you know, like when javelin throwers in the Olympics like set off for the run, it's that really long, slow first one, and then it's boom, boom, boom.
Yep. I see it.
Right down the corridor, and I'm gonna attack twice recklessly.
Ooh.
Don't hurt me.
Oh, that's a natural 20 on the first one,
Oh shit.
or a 19.
Oh, I mean, he did.
Yeah, if we have to be picky. So that's javelins at a d6.
Jamothy.
You call me that a lot.
Well,
Enough for me to notice.
I've done that before.
Well, someone's called me Jamothy before. So that's 15 points of piercing damage from the first one.
Ooh. Okay.
And the second one is gonna be an 18 on the dice with a plus 8. So.
Yeah. I'll give you a hint. This thing's AC is in the single digits.
Nice.
I
Okay.
imagine its HP definitely isn't.
No.
No. So that's gonna be 9 points of piercing damage for the second one.
Okay, so you do this powerful, impressive strength. Boo, 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 boo. 2 javelins. Meryl, one skims so past, so close to your head, like you can feel your hairs part, and for a second you're like, oh shit, before you see Kerchak's javelin embed itself in the golem in front, and Rahal, it's just in like a perfect patch that you'd left exposed between your snaky body. Okay, Vulgus.
Snake sets thumbs, I'd give the thumbs up.
Just the tail.
So if I were to walk my full speed, would I be able to see the creature?
No.
Okay.
The getting to your full speed will get you like inside the foyer, but not quite at the right place to get into the tunnel.
Right, so it wouldn't be in any distance to actually see anything.
No.
Okay. I'm going to start looking for a cellar.
Okay. Let me just go back to the map. There are stairs descending downwards here.
I'm going to go down those stairs.
You go down those stairs. Fuck, hang on. I've got about 20 different pages I need now. God, why would you do this to me, Stu? Okay. Oh. Okay, you head down the stairs, which you can get to. But you can only get to the stairs, and you see that they descend for about another 20 feet.
Okay.
Okay.
Just leaving Irina there alone.
You don't hear anything down here. It's quiet. It's silent down there.
Alright, I'm going to dash and head back up.
Okay. So that gets you back to on the way to helping them if you wish to do so.
No, I'm going back to arena.
Okay, you go back to Irina. Gotcha. Alright, is that it for you? Okay, Rahal. You've just narrowly avoided 2 javelins from somewhere down the corridor behind you. Meryl is stabbing wildly around you, and this creature is beating the shit out of you. What are you doing?
I'm trying to construct again.
Okay. So that's strength. What's your DC?
16.
Fails.
Yay! And it still takes damage, I think. That's... I mean, if it... 12 hits, you said.
Yes. Cool.
And it takes... 11 damage this time.
11 damage, okay. Okay, so what does constricting do? Does it make
grappled.
It's grappled, okay. So, Meryl, you see now as Rahal has tightened her grip upon this golem, and it's moaning and writhing and making horrific sounds as it's trying to break free. What do you do?
Rahal, are you sure this isn't a good time to like give up and leave the situation? No response because she's a
I'm-
snake.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do the same attack.
All right.
2 short swords and a scythe.
Nice. Roll those puppies.
Natural 20.
What?
What is that? 13 and 9.
Okay, all 3 of those hit.
Wow. Okay, so that is. Oh man. 2 plus 2 is 4. I know how to do math, I promise. And then multiply that is 8. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
And then another 8, and then 3.
Okay.
So nice if my DM gave me a good weapon.
Look, just you don't know what's in store for you. Maybe I don't know. I'm good at DMing, don't at me. Okay. So you let loose a couple of really good attacks, and this creature screams as you plunge your weapons inside of it. With Rahal still constricting. It's now the creature's turn, and it's an action to break free of a grapple. Yep. So it's going to attempt to boast that snake. You need to roll a contested strength.
Well, I
Athletics.
rolled a 5.
Athletics. Yeah, athletics.
Get up the strength thing. It's a 9 in total.
All right. So the golem breaks free of the grapple. But that was its action.
Creature is restrained, sorry.
Oh, it's not grappled, it's restrained.
It was, yeah.
Refresh me, I'm restrained.
Attack roll against the creature have advantage.
Cannot move. Its attacks have disadvantage. Its dexterity.
And it
save.
has disadvantage on dex saves, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. It's broken free now, but we'll remember that for next time.
Yeah.
So that's its turn. So, Kerchak, this thing is just broken free of Rahal's grip. It has 2 of your javelins sticking out of it.
I'll get them off of its recorpsed corpse. I'll switch to Ezek's battle axe 2-handed.
Nice, nice.
And yeah, screw it, it's still reckless.
Nice.
That's gonna be a 20, not natural.
Yep.
And the second one would be 17.
Yep.
Okay. So Ezek, it's a D10.
Have that super shiny spear.
Yeah. But not right now. I do have it, but I'm not using it right yet. Well, that's going to be 16 points of damage on the first one.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
And, 17. I've got it, plus 1. And the second one's going to be 10 points of damage.
10. Okay. You are carving chunks off this thing. You aim for where Meryl had attacked previously, where the stitching is now loose, and there's folds of flesh and like limbs. There's extra limbs on here. Like he stitched like 4 arms onto this thing. You just cleave one off. You cleave off a bit of pectoral, and you're just cutting chunks out of this thing. And it doesn't look great. I mean, it didn't look great to begin with, but now it's slumped a bit more, and it seems tiny bit slower in its movements. Which will bring us down to Volgus.
How does it sound from where I am? Does it sound like it's going well, or?
You hear lots of screaming, the sounds of weapons. You've not heard many shouts or cheers from your party.
Have I had many screams of pain from my party? Then?
Well, I mean, the only person who's been getting hit is Rahal, and she's been a snake. So you've heard some hissing.
Also, it's Rahal and you don't care.
When Kerchak fights, there's a kind of like maniacal laughter in and amongst the grunting. Usually,
Yeah, but
that might be
means it's
heard.
going well.
Yeah.
No, Volgus doesn't care. I end my turn.
Okay. Rahal.
Constrict again.
Okay.
That is a natural one.
Oh, thank God, because I rolled an 8. You wind your way around this golem and try to constrict, but it slips free of you. Anything else you want to do?
Nothing I can do, no. I'll stay around it so it attacks me rather than anyone else.
Okie dokie. Meryl, what are you doing?
I'm gonna keep hitting it.
Do the stabby stab.
Same as before. 2
Yep.
short sword.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 20, not natural. 16. 16.
Nice. They hit.
And then 8, 3, 4.
Okay. Altogether, that's 15. Maths is hard. Okay, you are starting to now do a number on this thing. You're jabbing in where Kerchak has been cleaving bits off. You're popping stitches on other parts. You are making a mess of this creature. You cut off a section of the front and intestines just spill out onto the ground in front of you. It's now the golem's turn. And it's going to try to beat the shit out of Rahal, the snake that's pestering it.
I just want to point out that if it has intestines, it's pooping somewhere in this corridor.
Things we needed to know.
Seems important. I don't know. Might be a tripping hazard.
That's 21 to hit on the first attack. This thing has a big modifier. But you only take 7 bludgeoning damage, so, you know, small mercies.
Fine.
And the second attack is a 13.
Hits.
Okay, and you take 11 bludgeoning on that one. So it's raining down blows upon you, and they are. It was heavy and reckless to begin with, but now these are slow. These are like just everything it's got. It's putting into these blows upon you. Kerchak.
Same again.
All right.
It's a 28 to hit.
I think that might just scratch it. Yeah.
And the second one will be a almost 28, but not quite, as a 25 to hit.
Yes.
Okay. That's gonna be a lot. 17 points of damage on the first one.
Holy shit. Okay, yeah.
And on the second one, 14 on the second one.
Damn. Okay. You again set to cleaving and carving and just making a mess of this thing. It is still standing though, somehow. You're not entirely sure how or why, but this thing has not died yet, but it should. At this point, you're like slipping in viscera. It's all over the floor. There's just chunks of rotted flesh all over the spot. It's a hazard.
Health and safety will have a nightmare.
Yeah, God, this is a nightmare.
He's one of those keep clear, wet floor signs.
Slippery when wet floors.
Yeah.
So it's your turn, Volgus.
It's the person after me's turn.
Okay. Rahal.
Same.
Okay. Get
Same,
it, girl.
same. That is 16.
Oh, you beat me.
Ooh, and 12 plus something for 16 damage.
Okay, so Rahal, you wind your way once more around the golem and you constrict and you constrict and you feel its innards start to give way and its head pops off and explodes in a fountain of blood and its chest just crumples as you tighten your snake muscles around it and it just and the last thing you hear is like a as you squeeze the last breath from its body.
I slither away a little towards Kerchak and turn back into myself and go, oh, that was gross.
At least I wasn't wriggling around with it. I say while I'm getting my javelins back.
Yeah, you're just like, at least I wasn't really, while you're elbow deep in visceral.
I imagine there's just one where like I lift it out and there's just a bit on the end and just kind of flick it out.
Yeah.
And I think I give myself a cure wounds because, ow.
Yeah, if we didn't need to leave before, we should probably leave now.
I don't think he's.
I tried saying hi, and it said, and then ow.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna.
Well, you're saying it now.
I'm gonna third level that shit.
Right, we need to head back. We've left Arena alone too long. Well, she's not alone, but
She might as well be. Just joking.
I was thinking in terms of, well, we don't know how powerful this angel is. Can just one cleric handle them by themselves? It was a place of concern, Stuart.
Oh.
For Arena.
Uh-huh.
And you.
Yeah, let's go back.
All right. So you all make your way back down the corridor towards where you had left Irina in the care of Volgus. Irina is very cautiously like on her guard. She doesn't have a weapon on her, but she's kind of, you know, tensed and ready to either bolt or throw a fist. How's Volgus in this whole thing?
How is Volgus ever?
Just doesn't care.
Stoicism as usual.
Apathetic as always.
Yes.
Okay, so Volgus, you watch as Rahal, looking somewhat battered and bruised, comes walking out of the corridor with Kerchak with some fresh blood on him, and Meryl, you know, sheathing her swords and scythe.
Did you have fun?
Oh, that was great.
Big fleshy golem. I think he was practicing a lot before creating Vasilka.
Oh, do you want a glass of wine? I found a cellar.
Nice.
Might as well.
Looks like we've all been productive.
Is the kid still there?
Ilya has disappeared.
Where did the kid go?
Oh, I wasn't looking for him. I don't do children.
Arena, did you see where he went?
She says, I saw him dart off into the corridor when the fighting started.
Into the corridor where the fighting was?
No, another one.
Oh, there. And he came from the corridor with all the creatures, right? Because that's...
Yeah, I'd like to go over to Arena and give her one of my hand axes, just so she has something.
Yeah, okay, so she takes it and she kind of, you know, measures the weight of it. It's not quite a sword, but I suppose I could do something with it.
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
To the cellar again.
All right, Volga, so you head to the cellar and you see that this is, there's a stone staircase leading down 20 feet and it sort of winds down a bit. And you see what you're expecting to be a wine cellar. What you see instead is a stone room with a table in the middle of it. A long table with a sheet draped atop it with what appears to be a form of something beneath it.
God damn it, I found a morgue.
Or a lab.
Same thing to a madman. Still not been 10 minutes. So it's not undead, right?
Nope.
Okay, or otherwise evil in some way. Oh,
Nope.
good. Just gonna have a peek.
Okay, you have a look under the sheet. You recognize this body. It's not someone you know. It is you. Or parts of you, at least. You look down at the left hand and see that it's cracked. As your own is. It's wounded, it's frail, it's thin. You look, you see... Is that Rahal's head? Kerchak's chest makes up the body. Meryl's withered arm is the other.
Let's put the sheet back down. Oh, not the first time I've seen that. And have a look around for some wine.
Okay.
Can I have a look at under the sheet?
Yeah.
Or did we all see it, or just...
No, you'll all have seen it as he lifted it up. As he lifted the sheet, you all saw yourselves. As you move closer, you see that... Wait a minute. No, that's not right. These were all just parts of various women. Cobbled together. Grey and lifeless.
So we just thought we saw bits of us.
Yeah, for a brief moment you saw yourselves, or parts of yourselves, on that table.
I think I've had more blood loss than I thought. I just thought that was my head.
I think it may be a warning, and maybe we should leave soon. That leaving that we started a while ago.
Yeah.
Hey, Vulgus, you know you like to set fire to things?
Yeah.
Go nuts.
Oh no, not in a room like this.
Well, I mean, I was just more of a generalization on our way out. Anything flammable, pop it.
I don't really want to anger a diva. An angel.
Fine.
I
Say I did it.
Maybe he's not going to try and sell Irina. Maybe he's going to make something looking like her. I'm not sure how that's better.
If you're going to
but
give something that looks like...
marginally better.
I get the feeling that his morality is not in the way that he would just think about that. He'd just be like, oh, yes, Strahd, have the thing you desire.
From behind you, you hear the abbot's voice say, "You're quite right.
Oh, nice. Thank you
The
for
good
joining
of the
us.
many outweigh the good of the one."
So I said we should have gone!
And that's where we end this session.
Oh god, that was predictable.
I know. But you know, it's a pulpy horror, of course it's predictable. But so yeah, that's the end of the session today, you guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. I've really creeped myself out with the abbot. I really don't like him. I really, really don't like him.
You made him. You can't blame Perkins on this one.
I mean, he is like that in the book. I gave him that creepy soft voice, and I'm just...
And don't forget, he looks like Brendan Fraser.
Don't remind me of that, or I'll be conflicted.
No, he's... I can't imagine him looking like that and acting seriously. There has to be some comedic element to it, and that's less intimidating.
You haven't seen him try and fly away yet.
He bumps his head on the ceiling.
Abbot of the Abbey, watch out for that buttress.
Yeah, what we heard wasn't the cursed family calling to each other. It was just him when he swings through the branches. Oh!
And there we go, another villain ruined. That didn't take long, did it? That was...
But you said you were uncomfortable at how creepy he was. We helped.
The
Thank
Abbot's
you.
villain?
Is he? Seems
I thought
pretty
he was just-
villainous to me.
Villainous implies evil agenda.
He is giving women away without their consent. That's pretty evil.
Right, but he doesn't want to take over the world, sort of villain. He's just a bad guy.
No! No!
That's different from villain.
We need to have a talk.
Hey, no. We were talking pulpy horror movie, alright?
Anyway, so Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, you can catch us on YouTube. This session will go up for patrons and channel subs next Wednesday, and it will go up the Wednesday after. It'll go up for patrons and subs tomorrow, and will go up for the public next Wednesday. Sorry, brain. If you have Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime, please consider throwing that free sub our way. You get early access to Bike Club. And you get a cool emote. Other than that, we will catch you next time. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll catch you on the flip side.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Go. Tubular. Hey, I say catch.